Welcome to this dramatic therapy monologue. Listen to this meditation with an open mind and heart. In between each part, focus on your breath. Start now by inhaling deeply through your nose and slowly exhaling through your mouth. Then gently turn your attention to the natural rhythms of your breath. I am going to tell you something true about my life, whether you believe it or not. When I was a boy, I used to sit under the swing in my grandmother's backyard and count the cracks in the cement. Bit by bit, I told myself, things break apart, and when they do, everyone notices the faults and jagged lines. I carried that thinking with me for years. I carried it like a bag of stones. My father used to say, "You are too sensitive, son. The world is no place for soft people." I tried to be tough, to carve out some armor, but still I would wake up at 3 in the morning, heart pounding, mind racing, wondering if perhaps I missed my chance. Most days I felt old, no matter how young I actually was. Age can settle in your bones long before it shows on your face. You see, for a long time I believed that greatness belonged to other people. People who had better luck, better parents, better genes, or maybe even some secret that I could never learn. I blamed myself. I blamed my circumstances. I blamed time itself with all its slow, gnawing passage into nothingness. You might know the feeling too. I had my dreams. I wanted to be rich, not just in money, but in experience, in love, in stories worth telling late at night when the wind howls through the cracks of memory. I wanted to be loved so fiercely that it would erase the cold silences at the dinner table. I wanted to be famous, even if only for a moment, to hear my name spoken with pride. Instead, I worked in a hardware store for 20 years, walking those aisles, helping people fix leaky pipes and broken cabinet doors. I told myself that it was enough. I made small talk about the weather. I hung my dreams on the pegboard beside the spare washers and wood glue. But every so often, late at night, I would hear a whisper at the edge of sleep. It said, "It is not too late." I ignored it mostly because nothing hurts quite like hope. I drank too much. I smoked in secret outside in the dark, hiding from my wife and my kids, hiding even from myself. I watched the calendar pages turn and wondered if there was still time to change, or if all I had left was regret. Focus now on your breath, in and out, slow and careful. Hear the whisper in the space behind your thoughts. Things began to change when my youngest son asked me, "Dad, do you regret your life? Children are dangerous, you know. They ask questions that carve you open like a knife." I just stared at him for a long time, counting the cracks in the kitchen tile, hearing my father's voice in the back of my mind. I realized I did not want to answer. I did not want to look him in the eye and say yes. But the truth weighed in my chest, heavy and growing. Here comes the worst part, and I want you to really feel this with me. I had started something new, a course online, something about starting a business, learning to paint, maybe even write a book. I started with good intentions, fueled by that whisper of, "It is not too late." But then I stumbled. I missed a lesson, then another. Other people were so much younger, so much more skilled. In their voices I heard laughter. In their eyes I saw judgment. I started to hate myself all over again. The old stories returned. I was too old. I was too tired. I had missed all my chances. My crisis came one morning, grey and wet, with rain tapping at the window. I looked at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. There were lines under my eyes that had not been there before, and in that moment shame washed over me. Not for beginning again, but for believing I could ever be more than I was. My internal flaw is this: I believed my worth was tied to time. My father never apologized for his failures, and neither did I. I stood there trembling and felt the full ache of wasted years, not for what I had done, but for everything I had never dared to do. Maybe you know what that is like. Maybe you have felt the same poison, slow and steady, running through your veins. Maybe your mind tells you every single day that you are already finished, already decided, already sentenced to a life of almosts. Focus again on your breath. Inhale, exhale. Remind yourself that each breath is time itself beginning again. And yet, out of that lowest pit, something shifted. It was not a miracle, it was smaller than that. I remembered the swing in my grandmother's yard, the sun on my face, the clear March sky. I remembered that deep down, I'd always wanted to be the person who could begin again, despite the cracks in the cement. Perhaps the cracks do not mean that things are broken beyond repair. Perhaps they mean that something new can grow there, from all my mistakes. That day, I made a choice. I told myself it truly is never too late. Not because the world owes me success, but because I owe it to myself to try. I started making small changes. I walked an extra block. I wrote 3 sentences of that book. I told my wife I loved her and meant it. Really meant it. I called an old friend instead of just thinking about it and put $1 in a jar to save towards something big. Something just for me. Nothing happened overnight. The world did not cheer for me. My father did not appear in a blaze of light and tell me he was proud. But I started to feel alive in a way I never had before. Every day I made another small change, no matter how stupid or tiny or pointless it seemed. Over time, those changes built on one another, and suddenly things began to happen that I could not have predicted. I finished that book. I made extra money from a side hustle. I made time to dance awkwardly in the living room with my kids. I laughed more, and the laughter was honest. You must believe me when I say it is never too late to achieve great things. Age is just a number, a trick of the clock, not a rule written in stone. Even now, as I speak these words, I feel the pulse of possibility just under my skin. You can be rich, rich in kindness, rich in love, rich in forgiveness for all the old mistakes. You can be loved and you can love. You can be famous even if only in your own home, under your own roof. Small changes every single day will lead to exponential results. I am living proof, and so are you. So, take one more deep breath, let it fill you up, let go of that old story, the one that says you are too late, too old, too broken. Write a new ending, make one small change today. The rest will come, one moment at a time. Thank you for listening. I hope you feel it, a little spark, a little hope. I know I do.